Hey Marcus, first question for you. Can you share a pivotal moment in your career journey that made a significant impact?
Well, hello, Chris. And first of all, thank you for having me here today. Well, I think one of the pivotal moments I really appreciate and think back about is when I, for the first time, was seen and given a great chance to learn new things and grow my professional experience. And what I mean with that is that actually someone approached me, a senior manager, and said that I have seen you work hard, you're ambitious, and I believe you can do other things. You are ready to grow, you are ready to get a broader scope, including more exposure and new challenges, but I want to give you that chance. That was really a pivotal moment in my career, because, you know, working hard, lots of people do. A lot of people in many different areas and different industries and different job roles, people work hard. But it's really when you get the opportunity to move on, when somebody else has spotted you, selected you, betting on you, that is really when things can change career-wise. And this was such a moment.
Knowing what you know now, how could you have better prepared for your role in leadership?
First of all, I want to make an excuse to at least the first one or two teams I had when I was a young manager. They should have had me today, because I'm a better manager today than on my first couple of assignments. In hindsight, I think I should have spent more time in my early leadership days on my self-awareness. Who am I? How do I believe that I come out in terms of style, attitude, and behavior in different situations? And how do I actually come out based on other people's perception of myself? So, because with more grounded self-awareness, it is so much easier to approach other people, the people you are a leader of, with a more thought through, aware and conscious approach that you feel better resonate with their needs and expectations rather than my own. So spending time on self-awareness and knowing your ins and outs and how other people actually perceive you, and be aware of that. To do that homework before you start acting as a leader is a very valuable investment in time.
Why do you think knowing yourself better makes you a better leader?
Well, ultimately, as a leader, your job is to make other people approach and take on things in a certain desired direction. You have been tasked with a mission for your team, a new project, a new goal. So your job as a leader, that is to convince and to motivate other people to do a really good job. If you are not fully aware of how you come out as a leader, how other people perceive you, it is very easy that your messages, your communication style, your attitude, it doesn't seem authentic. It feels awkward. It's strange in some, but you yourself, with a lack of self-awareness, you think, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. I'm saying this, I mean this, how can this not come out as clear? How can people feel uncertain when they talk to me or feel a bit scared, or what? You mean I don't have energy? I have a lot of energy. But it's not until you really find out how your behavior, approach, and attitude really lands in the audience outside of yourself. That is when you have an option. Should I stick to doing things as I normally do, or should I change in some areas? Should I change in some situation because I know that this does not really resonate so well if I communicate in this style? I thought that before, but now with more awareness, I know I can come out in a not so desired way. So this time I will think about it, and I will take a conscious decision on how I come out as a leader. That is why you should work with self-awareness.
Thinking about being aware, when you've had your biggest leadership challenge, how did you overcome it?
Luckily, I've had lots of challenges, small and large, and most of them have been really fascinating to take on. So the challenges have been the energy. But my biggest challenge, and this goes back to the fact that, as a leader, you are always somewhere in an organizational hierarchy. You have your own manager as manager. And my biggest challenge was when I ended up in a severe clash with my manager and basically got fired. In another time and place, I was head of a unit working for a company. I discovered that I had idling resources in the unit I was responsible for. And at the same time, I was approached by another manager. This manager and my own line manager were both in the same management team above me. And they were short in supply of resources. So the request for support were a perfect match for my idling ones. So I approached my manager with a proposal for better utilization of resources, given a one company perspective, helping each other out, etc. But it did not fly. It is not our job to help them out. Okay. So I realized that I had two managers above myself that had a very poor line of communication in between each other. Hence, they didn't talk to each other. And they were bordering to having a passive-aggressive relationship, the two of them. And instead of organizing and utilizing resources with a one company for all, they choose to sub-optimize in silos and not openly asking for a hand and not openly offering to the other. So I felt squeezed in between these two managers. And together with my direct reports demanding me for providing them with real and relevant and more exciting assignments. So I decided to step above my manager. So I went to my manager's manager with my dilemma, letting that person know that there are two managers in the team that are not able to cooperate in a constructive way. So about a week later, my manager contacted me. I have removed you from your position, and regarding your future, I have scheduled a meeting tomorrow morning for you with the HR department. So obviously, my escalation by stepping over my manager had not landed well. There was no intervention or involvement from my manager's manager. And I was basically out. So, and this is what I learned, that, all right, first of all, grieve. Allow yourself to let all your emotions roll over you. Let it out. This is how recovery starts. Secondly, take care of yourself. Boost yourself by doing more of the things you like. This is like charging a battery again. Reflect and reassess together with feedback. I mean, fully charged, it is now time to challenge and calibrate your own self-image with feedback from former colleagues, different persons in your network. And the goal is to land in an updated, well-calibrated understanding of your own personal strengths and weaknesses, as well as on what you desire and thrive from in a workplace. And from there, start to seek up new potential employers. And from then on, I always pay close attention to how values and attitudes are manifested in the leadership behavior from myself, working on my self-awareness, my managers, and that goes all the way up to the CEO these days, and close colleagues. And to be honest, the signs of being surrounded at that time by toxic leadership were there before I was fired. I had just partly neglected, partly stood up with it. But these days, I would not find myself for long in a similar situation. Nowadays, my feet moves faster.